morning. It's still cold, traffic, a lot of traffic across Kampala, across the neighboring areas of the capital as well, and steadily people are moving into the rush hour to go in there and start their business day. Well, due to some technicalities, we might not get in touch with Barige Andrew, but we will definitely be sharing with you what he is having with the public today, tomorrow. So make sure that you will definitely be part of tomorrow's show, and you'll get to understand what the people were actually discussing on matters to do with borders, and that is mainly the border riders who have actually been regulated extensively, because now borders who do not have licenses or who did not register are not allowed in the city. How about that? What is their response, though, is what Barige Andrew is trying to gather in there, and in a space of very few times we shall be getting you all that tomorrow. But looking ahead of a new week, as we are kick-starting it off today, Monday 19th, you get to realize it has started with some heavy rains, and not too heavy as such, but you get to understand that it's actually been raining since 6 a.m. East African Standard Time in most of the areas around Uganda, and this has actually led to a lot of traffic. For some of you who are still at home, you get to understand that there is some huge traffic, especially as you're reaching the city center from Chibuli, looking at those coming in from Namuongo. Then you also get to look at the people who are coming in from Chirekabanda, Kira, Namugongo, then the people who are coming in from Entebbe Road. So mainly those particular areas, there's a lot of traffic. It's something that you cannot avoid, more so when it comes to a rainy day. These are some of the scenarios that keep on happening, or that continuously happen all the time, even during evening time when people are actually heading back home. But sticking to the matter of driving business, you get to understand that it's time for the business community to actually now start thinking of how they can earn some money. Just recently, when there was a report that was released that 60% of Ugandan businesses are at the verge of collapsing, that was a worrying statistic that especially every entrepreneur out there will definitely be worried about. Such a statistic that shows that 60% of businesses are bound to close down. Now, not only that, you get to realize that the small and medium-sized enterprises are among those businesses that are likely to close down, because some of them apparently end up fighting to secure capital. That is capital to keep the business afloat, and then also some of them are actually facing it rough when it comes to payments or payment of their employees and all this and all that. So when you look at such scenarios, you get to realize these businesses are bound to close down. Now, looking at the small and medium-sized enterprises, especially the small businesses, this is where you can be very versatile, even under the medium, because there you may be your own boss and you can easily stick to a new business, or you can easily switch. It is just an interswitch of business ideas. If at all this is not making money for you, you can switch to another one. It's just sometimes you get to realize it's time for you to do temporary business. Now, at a time like this one, with a lot of rainfall, you will realize people are actually into jackets, into stockings, people are into long stockings, people are into buying of umbrellas, making sure that they stay comfy in times of coldness, at a time where most Ugandans are actually very tired of a situation whereby you have to wake up very early in the morning, you beat the traffic, but then late in the evening you still have to beat the traffic because of the rains that come in either in the morning or late in the evening. So it's the kind of weather that we are dealing with currently as a country, but nevertheless life has to keep moving, and business has to keep moving as well. So you as a business person, it is very important for you to look out for possible ways to see that you get the money either way, because today it may be a lot of we may be experiencing a lot of rainfalls at the end of the day, but then what happens when it's too much of the sunshine and it's too sunny? So those are some of the scenarios that happen, and weather conditions definitely change with time. Seasons come and seasons go. But then you get to realize you have to be resilient in your business journey. You need to be very resilient in how you deal with the business community that you're working upon. So when you look back closely to a weekend that was, most probably it has been a busy one for most of the business community. And then also looking back steadily at the news recap that we've been having here, we looked at supermarket owners here who have actually mentioned something to do with how taxes are actually hitting them hard. Speaking of supermarket proprietors and owners, I think this also goes back to the issue that they are supposed to be using the IFRS, that is the electronic physical receipting and invoicing system. Some of them apparently say it is actually very harsh on them. Not only that, but when you look at the other taxes, just like any other business, even those other supermarkets, because when you look at some of the challenges the people who are dealing in supermarkets face, looking at the perishables that they buy, there are some losses associated to that. When you buy your perishables, you may buy delicate products, or look at the expiries, most especially for goods that come out of the country, and then also getting back to the employees, being able to sustain your employees without losing them, because some of them will definitely leave if at all you're not paying them good money, or if at all you're not paying them money in time. So those are some of the things that normally happen. So the supermarket owners were crying out to the taxman, saying these taxes look so these taxes are suffocating them, and there are so many at a time that they do not know whether they will be able to succeed in their businesses with clearing off these particular taxes. Then on the other report, still with the news recap, we looked at the women in fintech. Speaking of fintech, financial technology, women inclusion in financial technology is one of those that is actually being pushed highly by most of the innovators in the country. Speaking of which, because as we are moving into the digital economy and driving ourselves into e-commerce, you get to realize it is important for every stakeholder in the business world to get in touch of, to at least have an idea of financial technology, because this way, as you can see there, that was an event with iPeople where they've actually been pushing for more of the situations, so that to see that women in business get included into the journey of financial technologies, so that they can ideally understand technology and how they can mitigate these particular challenges that they face by using technology to overcome them. So these are some of the things that you get to realize, and how important it is for the women in business, especially because most probably women in business are actually facing some of these challenges. Some of them face challenges of lack of awareness in regards to the issue to do with technology. Some of them have limited skills and knowledge regarding use of technology and use of some of the innovative measures that are available. So these are some of the things, or these are some of the challenges that we need to look through, cover up some of these loopholes, and see that these women in business can eventually benefit from technology. Then also looking steadily as well at the news recap, we look at the budget preparations for the next financial year of 2023-2024. This one takes us back to the fact that the budget committee has been advised by Uganda Speaker to Parliament, that is Right Honourable Anita and Among, to comprehend the budget process in line with the Public Finance Management Act 3 of 2015. This particular one establishes the budget framework and specifies the roles of the Minister and the Secretary of the Treasury in the budgeting process. So when you look at that particular one, our current budget is 47.5 trillion shillings, 47.1 trillion shillings, and this particular financial year, 2022-2023, and it will be coming to an end June 30th, that is next year. So when you clearly look at most of the things here, as we are preparing for the 2023-2024 budget and 2023-2024 budget, the Speaker to Parliament says that the budget process should follow in line with the Public Finance Management Act, that is 3 of 2015, and something of that same nature. Now also, lastly, with the news recap, there is something to do with the tetanus awareness campaign. The tetanus awareness campaign is so the coalition of Health Promotion and Social Development, which launched a month-long hold tetanus awareness campaign in cooperation with the Ministry of Health. The repeated avoidable tetanus death that occurred despite the government is uneasing vaccination campaigns against the illness have served as the impetus for this campaign. So when you look at this, citizen awareness is actually very vital, because you get to realize if you are aware of something and you know how to deal with it, it is easier for you to overcome it, or it is easier for you to prevent it from itching you or eating you up. So that's exactly what the Ministry of Health is actually doing here with the tetanus awareness campaign that is a long month hold to ensure that that happens. And entirely that brings us to end of our discussions to do with Smart Means Business today. We certainly looked at the international updates as well, moved on to the East African integration in terms of the coffee code discussions, and summed up our Smart Means Business with the topic of discussion where we looked at labor externalization. And of course, it's Monday, the 19th of September 2022. Another week is ahead of us, another week to go in out there to continue driving business and to ensure that things happen and to ensure that we be part of the value chain in Uganda. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. You can follow me on Twitter at Jerome Paul Sonko. That is also on Facebook and Instagram as well, so that we can discuss more matters to do with business and social life. Then Smart24 TV on social media is Twitter, Smart24 TV. We are also on LinkedIn. You can interact with that. We can connect from there as well. Then you can also get us on our Instagram, Smart24_TV. The website is www.smart24.tv, and then the YouTube channel is Smart24 TV and Smart24 TV Live. For more of the business reports, business programs, and interviews that you might have missed, those are the social media platforms where you can definitely link up and we can catch more as well. Thank you for riding along with me today. Till tomorrow, have a blessed day. Good morning.
At salary disparities as an issue, okay? The causes most of the time are as a result of the farm, for example. I would like to call it differences. It's as a result of the farm. Different farms pay differently, okay? But when I look at it in an organization alone, it's because of the different kind of work the people are doing, the different expertise required to do the job, the different skills. Sometimes we don't like to mention it, but different characteristics we have had. Of course, we say equal pay, equal work, equal pay, but sometimes you may find that in some organizations, men are paid higher than women, and that's why there has been a gender campaign to ensure that all people, regardless of whether you're men or women, you're paid equally. And mostly it is as a result of the stereotypes and also as a result of low bargaining power. Sometimes there is no scale in an organization. It is not a policy that when you're coming in, this is the entry or this is what you will get because of who you are. So we realize sometimes that those who bargain strongly sometimes end up being paid higher than those who may not bargain because they have a different urge or a different reason why they're coming to job. I may come out and smart to get a job because it is the only available role that I have got. So the bargaining power sometimes is less. When you're getting someone from UNBS who has already a job, they have a strong bargaining power. They are not, you want them, they don't want to change. Okay, sometimes they want to change, but it is not what is pushing them to change. So the bargaining power is strong, and you find that someone is coming at 10 million, and yet someone else who has equal competencies is coming at 5 million because they're not strong enough at the time of bargaining. So that's why we advocate that organizations should have salary scales which are equitable and fair for everyone, such that we do away with issues that may arise, because when they settle in, they start hearing in grapevine, so and so is getting this, when they start hearing those, they are going to cause conflict, they are going to demotivate staff. It is better if you align in the beginning to maintain equity in the organization. Equity is fairness. Ensure that there is fairness. It is easier to manage when people are feeling equally treated. You know, even here in the home, when you have kids, you want them to feel that they all matter and they all are given due attention that they require.